We are going to discuss about copyrights. Okay, today's topic is going to be what that is to share the copyrights and what that is to own your copyrights. Okay, when you are shooting photography, and I am shooting erotic photography with my clients, majority of clients would like to share copyrights. Okay, what that means is that when we share a copyright, the shoot price is different. Okay, a lot of studios work in a different way. For example, if you shoot, for example, let's say portraits, okay, portraits most of the time shot in the same way. Okay, so studio has a different contracts, maybe limited copyrights, maybe basic copyrights. Okay, when I create at my studio, I create every shoot in a different way, like completely. The project is different. The lighting is different. The concept is different. Okay, I risk a lot and I test a lot, right? And now I allow myself to create, okay? And I make my clients who arrive to the studio experiment and push the limits, okay? That is the creativity is about, right? When you go to another portrait studio, there is no pushing the limits, and there are people just taking pictures. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about one couple. They were in the 60s. Okay, mature couple, and I love to work with mature couple. And this couple arrived to create an erotic album. Okay, when I say erotic album, usually you would use the word boudoir. Okay, that's what represents erotica. When I say erotic album, it means that I shoot more than boudoir. Okay, what that means is that when you create photography with me, of course, we start from the portrait, then we go to semi-nudes, then we go to nudes, explicit, and make love scenes where we create penetration shoots and erotic fantasies and kinks. Okay, so that is already more than boudoir. But if you would go to another studio, that's what you would get. You would get a limited session. Okay, and when I say limited, I mean not every photographer would be happy to take you on that journey to the climax, to the end. Okay, so this story is about the couple. They are in their 60s. They are looking good. Okay, they're feeling okay about themselves, and they're quite hot and sexy. This couple consisted from, like different people, right? There are ladies and there are men in the couple most of the time, right? The ladies think this way, the guy think the other way, right? If the lady comes from the other country and more exotic, right? The couple is more spicier, okay? And the shoot is more hotter, okay? That's my observation, right? So I kind of had this spicy couple, right? And the spiciness came from the lady side, okay? Lady side. So, but they both in their 60s and they both wanted to have a memory, an album created for themselves, right? And the album is a book, okay? And they said we would like 20 pictures, 20 pictures. I said this book is going to be very thin, okay? It's like a newspaper, okay? Like a magazine thin book if you have just 20 pictures in the book, okay? Because when you go creating the book, there are layouts, there are designs, okay? And if you put even every picture on the page, right, you will have just 10 pages, okay? 10 pages a book. It's not a book, right? So I say we need more. We need more. If you want a very, good and hot and sexy album, we need a start, right? We need a middle and we need an end. Okay, so what happens in my studio, they wanted just 20 pictures. Okay, and I assumed like most of the couples would like unlimited sessions. So they said, yes, we want unlimited session, we want all in. Okay, and most of my clients would like to own the whole artwork. Okay, and that is an option when we share copyrights. Okay, you see, when I share copyrights, I provide all the artwork, right? When I sell specific images, I provide a copyright for those specific images, okay? And that's a totally different shoot. When I shoot for copyrights, it's more concentrated. You see, when you are a chef, you have a menu and you follow the menu, okay? When I share the copyright, I become more as a creator, as an artist, because I will have it. I will own my artwork, okay? And it means I can lose my hair, you know, and just let it go. And so we created enormous shoot, like 3 hours. It's a big session for 60-year-old couple, right? And they were full on, okay, full on, and they accomplished their fantasies, their dreams. They shot portraits at the start. We take care of the lady, okay, because the lady had a makeover, so we had to make beautiful boudoir collection for her, okay. But when I finished that, okay, we went into a touching, kissing mode, loving mode, okay? And that means that we've created an erotic photo shoot unlimited. We make love scenes, okay? Intimate scenes. And what happened with this couple? That they created more than they expected, that they made it more than they actually wanted to show, okay, because it was very easy for them and very easy and straightforward, okay. So then they changed their mind and they said, Julia, we want actually to have all the pictures and we don't want to give you any access to those, right? We want to buy all of them, right? But the budget wasn't wasn't significant, right? So I was just thinking what to do, right? So I'm making now this video explaining people what that is when you're shooting in a creative studio. Okay, when you're shooting in a creative studio, you see the artist is making this very unique session. It means that there will be no session like this ever. Okay, it means that the artist creating something on the freestyle, on the go, from the feeling, okay? And that's what happens. I would not be able to recreate it. I do not remember how I made it, okay, to start with, right? So everything is from, you know, from the intuition, comes from intuition, from creative mode. We're testing a lot and we shot on, I usually shoot on camera and on film, okay? In case the couple who says we want just photography change their mind. I cannot just go back in time and extract the movies for them, okay? But what I can do is, when I shoot film, I can give them a gift collection, okay? And gifts are very hot and sexy and easy to share, especially, you know, when you're operating on the phone, right? So I give that to every, you know, every couple, right? They have a chance, right, to do it. So what happened with this couple is this, okay? When they went go crazy during the shoot, and that's how I inspire people and that's how I make them feel, you know? They think that, oh, we will just make few pictures, we will undress and stuff. No one is planning to go, you know, all in and perform the way they did. They actually enjoyed the shoot very much, right? And then they were surprised how far they went with me, okay? Because I am that link, you know? Even the couple is very hot and sexy, right? Even if they have a very great connection. Having someone there, okay, it just gives a totally different dimension. It does, right? I'm not saying it's threesome, okay, but I'm saying you are with a photographer who is so much open-minded that seriously, I can tell you one moment, okay, then you would understand, okay. The couple is 60 years old and the setting was on the armchair. It was a leather armchair, old-fashioned. And so he sit down and she stand up and sit on his face, okay? And then she managed to bend over, okay, and just, you know, play with you know, with, I mean, like, seriously, 60 years old. I was just thinking, amazing, you know, like that, right? So it was just so freestyle and so people able to let go, okay, that later they are in shock. Later, they're in shock how they made it, right? So the session, every time when I shoot, the session is great, okay? If people are healthy, okay, mentally and physically, okay, seriously, that's what I have to mention, okay? Because if there is some kind of a mental destruction, okay, or some kind of a physical disability, it's different to evaluate, okay? But I have these people as well coming into the studio. But now I'm talking just about the healthy couples, right? How much they get inspired, how much they get turned on, and how much they can create. Okay, it surprised them. So today's video is about sharing copyrights and owning copyrights. Every photographer, right, who knows what he's doing, and I'm making art. That's my goal. Okay, to make something different with every couple, to create a different shoot. My goal is to make online galleries, you see, for public to learn from the sex art. Okay, look at that art, get the stimulation, get the knowledge, get the feeling. Okay, get an inspiration. Right, I am creating galleries, so automatically I can't shoot the same thing with every person. It's just, it's gonna be the same and the same, right? So that's why I am making every session unique. They cannot reproduce this with another photographer. They can't. And for me, it will be very hard to repeat the same session, okay? Because there will be different people, different energy, different time, and again, different me. With every session, when I'm, how to say, shooting, I am getting better. Okay, I'm getting more experience. For one single reason is because you see, I am working in this mode when we are shooting freestyle. What that means is I have a camera, I have lightings, but I don't know where this couple will go, where they will, how they will move, where they will be. So everything is on the go, okay? And there is a lot of error. I allow myself to make mistakes when I'm shooting. And in those mistakes, I create an amazing artwork. You see, that's how you make it. You just let it go yourself and trust yourself, right? That this way is the best way. And in the same, when I am in this energy, my couples also let go. Okay, it just takes time. When people are shooting erotic photography, boudoir, glamour, nude photography, sometimes it takes time for them to get used to go into the zone, to get into the mood, right? So the normal session, I can tell you, lasts between 2 to 3 hours to create a lot of content. So what that means is in 2 3 hours, I can create 1,200 pictures with two different cameras. I'm shooting with two different settings. So I have a Canon and I have a Sony. And then at the same time, I am able to create videos and film it. So I am busy. You see, switching on the cameras, changing the lightings, changing the backgrounds, okay? Posing them, directing them. The whole shoot, I am busy, right? But why is it so? Because I'm getting them, if you go to the dining experience and you're meeting a professional chef, like Michelin chef, you would get a palette of a taste in your mouth. Okay, you would be, how to say, it's something what will surprise you all the time. Unusual ingredients, something special, right? That's when you have a dining in a special restaurant, right? And you can have a sandwich, okay, even a great sandwich, right? But it's not gonna be the same. Okay, so when I'm talking about the food, it's more clearer probably to understand what is the creative mode. So you can create a specific, certain things which you do again and again, okay, with the people who coming in. It's like a conveyor experience. For me, it is not a creative mode. Okay, because you're not doing it on the spot and on the go. You're not bringing the lights and adjusting to that specific moment, to that specific couple, to that specific scene. You're not adjusting everything. You're not creating from the scratch, right? So that's what I'm saying. There is a sandwich and there is a Michelin star dining. Okay, it's two different things, right? So when I create for myself, when we share copyrights, I give Michelin star dining. Okay, that's what I've noticed because I know that I'm doing it for myself, right? When I sell copyrights, I sell specific pictures, the best shots. I know, okay, what is very likable. I know what people like, okay? So I would be setting them and presenting them in a certain way. Yes, we will shoot in a creative way. Yes, we will try. But am I there 100%? I'm being honest, no. No, no. I am 100% where I can be free, you know? And then I create amazing stuff with every shoot, with every couple, you know? That's when I be free. So, but today I'm discussing copyrights and sharing copyrights. So, people, the most popular sessions are, you know, which are less pricey, okay? And when are the less pricier, okay, this is all with the sharing copyrights, okay? That's a budget and the standard shoots, okay? That's how I, you know, select this way, right? So, but people have, how to say, a promise from me that I would not disclose their identity. Okay, they are always worried. So, what if you're gonna use the images on my website? I said I'm gonna put art in there. Okay, and your face is not art for me. I'm sorry. So it's gonna be cropped, right? So I am an artist and I wanna present my own art. I don't, you know, it's not about you, you know, who is on the picture and what is this face on the picture, right? It's about their body. It's about the feeling, it's about the composition, it's about the energy, okay? And it's about the quality of the energy as well, okay? Not just doing things, okay? Just beautiful, right? Or crazy or wild. Doesn't matter what the information come from, but as long as it's real and as long as it's true and no one is faking, okay, and no one is pretending and no one is how to say staged, right? That's kind of a feeling, the real energy. So I love that and I can see this when it's happening and I'm leading my clients towards the real energy, being themselves, you see, being themselves and feeling themselves, you know, to the max, to a certain frequency, right? I am able to put people into a special zone, okay, where they can create, right? But what happens when they create? Then they get scared, okay? Then they seriously, how to say, like with this specific couple, they created so much intimate sex scenes, okay? And like I say, they're in their 60s, okay? That they changed their mind and they did not want to share copyrights anymore because it wasn't just a simple photo shoot, okay? It went really explicit, okay? And really hot. And that's great. That's what I celebrate here in the studio, okay? The real sexy time, the real energy, okay? But then they changed their mind and they wanted to own all the artwork so that I would not get use of it, okay? That's the thing what happened, okay? And that's fine. If it's a certain price that I'm willing to accept, okay? If that's the case, right? So like I say, when we are sharing copyrights, people getting all the artwork, okay? I am investing my time, my energy, okay, my experience over 20 years into their artwork, okay? And they're getting all, right? I am having an option to use it. For my publications, website, gallery, blog, whatever, I will go. But I am using art, okay? I am creating art. And I am saying that their faces is not art for me, okay? It's just not. That is why it's gonna be cropped, you know, cut off, and I will be using a certain part of the images. That's the whole thing, okay? And that is why I consider this as a private shoot, because no one knows how their coochie looks like, you know, or how the, you know, how the, it's you know, It's private. They know, they can recognize themselves, but no one else, you know, they don't care. They want just to see, you know, hot and sexy erotic stuff, okay? And they want to feel that energy, okay? And it's not about their faces or their identity, right? So that's what it is, sharing the copyrights, right? Going till the end, letting your artist who works with you, right, to express to the maximum, because the artist, the photographer in this case, right, making it all, you know, giving it 100%. I sometimes give 200. Okay, if the couple is rocking, I'm rocking with them. I'm on the same vibe. Okay, so at this time, what was happening? The couple was rocking. Okay, and it's great. I am explaining at 60, you can have a great shoot. Okay, and hot and sexy, and you can last for 3 hours. Okay, and you can come as very conservative person, okay, like very conservative. You could see, you know, that it was very hard to go into very erotic mode. Okay, it was very stiff, and it was very how to say, superficial, right? But eventually it happened, and when it you see, when it happened, sexual energy is taking over. People are changing during the shoot. I can see when it's happening. Okay, their face is changing, right? And that 60 years old face looks like 35. That's how energy changes you. Okay, and because I need to tell this. You see, when people are make love, they don't see it. When I am doing it, I have my eyes closed. So of course I don't see it, right? But I saw this on the other people. I am with them. Okay, when this transformation happens, when the sexual energy comes into your body and start vibrating, okay? First of all, like I say, they're doing more than they planned, okay? And even such a controlled and focused and conservative people and you know, experienced people, right? Can be moved and tricked by the sexual energy, okay? They could go more than they do, you know, they planned, they thought about, right? And that's exactly what happened, okay? So that's the thing. So the most popular package at my studio is sharing the copyrights, okay? Because we shoot a lot, okay? You own everything, and then at the end you're getting the best pictures edited, right? So it's great for me, right? And it's great for them. And I love this option, okay? There is another option which we do not share a copyright when the client want to own the artwork, okay? And then we need to sign the contract. So when we're sharing a copyright, the fact that they are sending a deposit, it's already a confirming, you know, it's like a confirming, it's already an agreement, a business agreement between the studio and the client. So I do not sign anything on that case. But when we sell copyrights, then of course we sign, right? We sign everything, right? And that's the thing with these copyrights. They own just that part of the artwork that they buy, okay? So this couple was asking, if we buy 20 images, will we get another 1,000? Will we get another 1,000? You know? Then they want it all, okay? And I said, no, you will get as much as you pay for. But that's logical, right? I would say. But no, it's not. I have to make videos and explain these things. Okay? So then, how to say, you can go about it like you can buy a package, okay? Or we can just have a customized offer, okay, for every client individually. But the pricing, it goes much higher, okay, then we share the copyrights, okay? It's just a fact, right? Just a fact. Then I had to explain the things about editing and post-production. Okay, I've calculated for them. So imagine I have 1,000 images and I need to just to briefly look at the shot, like to look at the file. Let's say 1 minute, just to look at the file, analyze the file. And I have 1,000 of them. Okay, it's already 20 hours just looking and analyzing the file. Okay, when I do a post-production, I spend on one image between 5 to 15 minutes depending. Okay, usually people will choose the pictures that are longer to edit. There are plenty shots that are almost perfect, okay, and they would miss that selection. They would choose the one which is complicated, okay. And you see, when you're aging, even no matter how your body is perfect, but there is a lot of skin cleaning, and sorting, and in general, okay, when you want a perfect picture, especially when you're making an album, you kind of need to polish every corner, of their image. So it takes time. So for me, it takes between 5 to 15 minutes to edit one image. Okay, so imagine you want to edit 20 or 30. It adds up. It's another, 6 hours or whatever. And you can't do it constantly because you're enlarging the pictures, very focusing words. So you need to do the break. So it takes time. Okay, so editing takes time. Post production in general is the most time consuming situation. Okay, and it takes time. And I don't have these editors who understand how to edit explicit stuff. Seriously. If any editor working and he is in the business, adult business, and did a lot of erotica, reach out. Okay, seriously, I haven't seen many editors. I do have people who can edit videos. Okay, erotic videos, that's another thing. But what I've noticed with people who go into editing, they try to make their own spin on the image. They do not see the artwork, and they do not recognize different things. They just go blindly into this editing. Okay, and I am trying to make a collection in general from everything, right? So if there is a shot, it has to be transformed. It can be transformed into anything. You see, that's how I look at it. So editing is a big part. Okay, I'm chatting here half an hour, so I will do just a break now. And say hi, hello, and I'm answering questions about erotica, and today I'm talking about copyrights and sharing copyrights. Okay, because I have people who actually have no clue. Okay, what is the difference and why they need to share it and why they are not owning it. Okay, because you see, if you want to own copyrights for the artwork, then you are very easily able to make it yourself. Okay, you don't need a professional. You don't need me with 20 years experience. You are capable. Go and do it, and you will own the artwork. Okay, by law, the person who is creating you something, right? Creating a music or creating, making a song for you or making, a photography video, he is owning. That because he's making for you, right? So, but there are people who don't know this, okay, and it's on the Google, and you can have a chat with a chat GBT and ask about this, right? But especially with a mature generation, okay, they don't know anything about the photography. They don't even care about this art, okay? Sometimes people just want to have or hot and sexy experience, or they want to have, after this experience, just few pictures, okay? So they don't really into, right? I'm saying hi, hi, hi. I'm saying hi, and I'm answering questions about erotica, erotic photography. You can ask me about couples, okay, couples erotica, and of course I'm shooting also videos, right? I'm shooting videos. So if I say hi, hi, thank you for joining me and being here tonight. Okay, I have 3 messages, just 3. Good, I can go to sleep much quicker than. Okay, just the 3 messages. Right, okay. You see, erotica is such a topic, right? You don't know what to ask. It is okay just to listen about this, right? But when you ask questions, you extract information from me, even the parts that I was not supposed to say or I was not planning to say, okay? And when I am in adult business more than 20 years, believe me, I have a lot of things to tell. Okay, where the video? Okay, probably we are talking about videos that I would make for my clients. Okay, all the videos that are made for my clients are loaded on the link. Okay, we create galleries and not one video. Okay, when I shoot video content, I create shorts. Okay, 1 minute, 3 to 5 options, different music. Okay, mixes. Then there is 2 or 3 long minute videos. Okay, also 3 options at least. Then there is 5 minutes long videos. Then there is a 7 minute long videos, 10 and 15. Okay, I can do longer. Just a second. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I told the truth, about the videos. So there is a whole gallery. Say bless to me. Okay, there is a whole gallery that I deliver. It's not just one video, unless there is asked differently. And also, I am giving gifts. Okay, I think gifts are the great expression of sexy moments. Okay, and I am choosing the best moments for the gifts. And also it is a very small file. Okay, very small file, so it's very easy to download, to move, or to send anywhere. Like you want to share sexy stuff with your partner, right? So you can send a gift. Okay, and even if you are a little bit advanced, okay, you can have a short video and make gifts from it. Okay, and then send it to your partner. So video content, it's a totally different medium for me. Okay, so everything is on a private link. Okay, so when I'm creating videos for my clients, they're receiving it by a private link. Okay, and that's where they get it, from that link. They would load it, right? They download the artwork that they created. Okay, and maybe if you're asking about the gallery, okay, there are so many people asking about these galleries. Okay, and I promise and I talk about erotic galleries because I am going to open erotic galleries. But what happened is that, first of all, I realized it takes a lot of energy out of me. Okay, it's like another job. Okay, to prepare galleries, I can't just give someone else. For a few years, I was looking for editors who could do editing for me. And just once on the website, that's what I did. Okay, the editors were loading content directly to the galleries, and I was giving access to my members. Okay, that was the practice that I had, right? I had this practice on my website. Okay, now I'm putting galleries on Telegram. I'm very new to Telegram, okay? But I know that it will be great. I have this feeling about this Telegram, okay? That there will be great, and I had a lot of sections already, okay, open. And I'm loading slowly but surely. Like I say, people want to look at it. They are pushing me every day, sending me emails and asking when. When is this gallery? When is it open? And so on. Yes, I've announced that it's in the making. Okay, it's like 50% already done, right? I still need to finish this. Okay, and if I would not do anything, like if I would be sitting in Hawaii in some kind of a guest house and I had no other concerns but just work on the galleries, I would finish it quickly. Okay, but I have a job, I have a house, I have 2 kids, okay, I have cats in the house, I have stuff to do, a garden, and seriously, and then this gallery it just takes a lot of time. You do not understand. Editing is the time consuming. It's not like you shot it and that's it, right? When I come to the studio, I can create a great shoot in 2 and 3 hours. Okay? Seriously. But then I'm editing this content for 5 days. For 5 days. What I've shot to create these products, beautiful products, finished products, like I say, image galleries, videos galleries, it takes time. Okay, I know that people will want to, have a look and stuff, but please be patient. Please be patient. Find me editors, okay? Find me editors. It will happen much quicker. People who understand how to edit erotica. People who understand it, you know, not wank in front of the camera. There are a lot of editors who cannot work on this content because they're getting aroused all the time. They can't finish it, especially young ones. I can tell you, it's not straightforward. You're getting turned on at looking at that stuff. And at the beginning, I remember when I started shooting, because when I started shooting models, escort models. So it wasn't, you know, that much sexy for me. But when I started shooting couples, or couples hiring models, you know, I needed a break to edit things, seriously, because it's getting hot, you know, when you're looking at what you've created. It's just like seriously getting hot. Okay, I want to see your work. I know, I know. Give me editors. Give me editors. I'm very slow. I'm great photographer and videographer. I'm doing this fast. Okay? But I'm very critical to my work. That's why I'm not publishing it. Okay? So I'm like a perfectionist stuff in my head. Okay? That's why I'm not opening. There was this guy who was looking at this gallery, sorting this gallery on Telegram. He says, Julia, it's ready, it's ready. And I said, no, it's not ready. Okay? And that's it. And I decide. And he's like, Julia, you already loaded like 100 files there. And I'm saying it's not ready. Okay? So that's how it's with me. Okay? Hey, have a wonderful day. Thank you. It's a night here. Okay? The day is finished. Okay, I want to see. Great. 13 messages. Where is your work? My work is in archives. Okay? In hard drives. Right? And there is some stuff which I've loaded for editors. If they would come to me, okay, maybe this is the day to invite them. Okay? Editors who have an experience, okay, working with nude photography, explicit photography, and make love scenes. Okay, and erotic fantasies. I need these editors who understand what to do, who has a brain, who do not work like a machine. Yeah? Right, okay. Miss, can I just say, okay, what you are saying? 15 messages, lovely, lovely, lovely. From the Mexico, from the Mexico. I've been in Mexico a few times. I really loved it. I loved it. I loved ceviche. And I loved the beaches. Oh my gosh, once I think I was in Tulum, and then I was traveling because I hired a car, and then I was traveling by the beach, and I stopped in one place, and I found an amazing beach in there in Mexico, and you would not believe this enormous beach. Okay, you're just walking, and then there is this rock. You climb on this rock, and there was like Thai restaurant on the beach with a beautiful Thai food. Okay, I was like in shock. Seriously, in Mexico, this happening? Amazing, I love it. Also, I've been in Coco Bongo a few times. Disco party stuff. I also liked it. Yes, it was nice. We need to go private. Okay, let's have fun. Okay, people talking about fun. I'm talking about work. Okay, work. Right, I am in Miami Beach, Florida. If you are anywhere near me, I will help you on the gallery. Ooh, we have someone here. Great, great. Well, you know what? I am not in Florida. I'm not. I've been invited many times to America. I never been. Okay, I never been. And I had this actor from you know coming here to shoot a few times. He's English and he lives in Los Angeles, and he invited me a few times, and I just didn't go. I constantly thought that I'm too busy. Too busy. No, I'm traveling around Europe. Yeah, but I don't know. US, it was very distant. Now, not anymore. Okay, I would maybe go. Not including food or shelter or water. What are two things you can't do without every day? Oh, I'm very analytical. I'm living in my world. Okay, so if I would not have my world with me, then I would not be able, And I'm not into food or shelter person either, I am eating food as a fuel for many years. Now I start enjoying it. Okay, but for many years for me it was just, something different, right? People, looking at the food in every way than I do. Okay, what I cannot do without, I love intimacy, you know I think sexual energy and sexuality is that's what feeds us. Okay, people think that the food that we consume feeds us. Okay, but in the reality it's not. So sexual energy is something what is giving me a drive, right? And this is something like now it's my life, okay, and it's my work, and of course I'm doing and thinking about this every day, but this is something how I think when you lose your sexuality you're getting older. Okay, look at me. Look at me. Okay, look at me. Yeah, I'm not planning. I'm reinventing myself, boosting yourself, a new keychain. And this morning I grabbed the old keychain without any keys and I left. Okay. And then I realized that this habit is such such a robotic and automatic. I even didn't look that the old keychain and I left and I locked myself out. Okay, so we do not realize how much of the robots we are.